tearing out pieces of me to replace the broken pieces of you. Tearing out.
Hello, wealthy family, and welcome to today's Mindset Monday. Thank you for coming and sharing some time with me. Welcome, new subscribers. We're growing, right? We about to hit 420. Yes, y'all. Like, I'm so thankful to everyone who likes, subscribes, comments. I love the comments, even just the comments that are just little emojis. Like, I love them. I love them so much because it lets me know that I am not alone. Right? Being the black sheep of the family and then not having many friends where I can talk about things and bounce things off of, me stepping out on this leap, on this ledge of faith and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this, and who rock with it, right? Just the mere fact knowing that one person watches it and feels it and is impacted, I'm like, okay, this is great. So I'm thankful to you all for helping me with this new avenue and branch of my life. Definitely the silver lining that I was looking forward to with this channel. And today we're going to talk about how you can always find the silver lining in any situation. See, you have to be an alchemist in your mind in all things and know that energy never dies. Energy is everywhere. Everything is made of energy. Okay? So when you know that everything is energy and energy begets like energy, you always can move with the step of optimism. Now, I know that this new war that we're being hurled into, right? This physical war that my country is being hurled into, and thereby it's going to be other parts of the world too. With that happening, a lot of people now are piling on the fear, the doom, and the gloom, right? Here's this anniversary of this other huge catastrophic thing, and now all these other things are happening, and we have lockdown and quarantine, and people are without jobs, and people will take the jab and some people won't take the jab, and just all these other different divisive things, these natural disasters, right? Shout out to my brothers and sisters out in Haiti who are affected by that. Oh my God, some of you may know my ex-husband is Haitian, and of course we share a child, so he has Haitian blood in him. And that country is so beautiful, that island is so beautiful, and it's just a shame what they're doing to those citizens over there. The silver lining in that is more people are becoming aware, more people are asking questions, more people are demanding help and justice for that country. So I'm thankful for that, because for many years they were robbed and pillaged, way even before 2004, right? And now I think finally there's some light being shown on that. Okay, so looking at that situation, even though it's bleak, it still is a, hey, look, there's a silver lining. Something is happening, something's evolving and growing. The energy is coming back around, right? Because everything's a cycle, right? It won't take much for another revolution to happen, and I'm ready for that on all fronts, everywhere, not just in Haiti. So one love to my brothers and sisters out there, and anyone who is affected by the catastrophes, the disasters that are happening out there for whatever reason that they're happening. But when you allow sorry, that was a lizard. When you allow yourself to look at things as a lesson or a blessing, right? That always gives you that silver lining, because if it's a blessing, then of course, right? And if it's a lesson, now you can apply it and you can grow. See, even with this quarantine, there's been detriment with people's mental health, but there's also been people who have got to know each other again. Parents have gotten to know their children. Spouses have gotten to know each other again. And whether they're like, oh, you know what, you're better than I remember, or this is not really what I think I signed up for, it allowed people to get uncomfortable and to grow. The only space to grow in is in discomfort. When you're comfortable and you're on cruise control, you will never go anywhere. You will continue to maintain that speed. You will never gain any momentum. And when you're constantly looking at nature all around, my garden right now, my yard, like we cut it, well my son cuts it every week or so, but there's certain parts where I can tell if he didn't hit it that week, it's too much. It's getting to be too much of a jungle, right? I can tell because we're in the rainy season, we're in the hot season, right? And I live in tropical Florida. So I can tell when you see how nature moves and grows, you should know that's exactly how you should be as well, because you are a natural being. So you should always be growing and moving, adapting and evolving, and never wanting to stay and maintain. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. There's always a silver lining to things, even with opposition. Isn't it a saying, when a door closes, a window opens, right? There's always a cycle happening. There's always an evolution of things. Things are never open and shut, never black and white, never conclusive. Things are always changing and adapting. And that's the greatness of having free will. It's not just having the free will to be pessimistic, but you also have the free will to be optimistic. It takes less energy to smile than it does to frown. It takes less energy to find the goodness in things than it does to find the wrong in things. I said this the other day. There's examples everywhere of things going wrong, but there's just as amount of things going right. You just have to search for it a little bit more. But it's out there. Do not allow yourself to stop being a hopeful optimist. My husband always used to tell me, because I love Disney stuff. Like, I'll read all the Disney princess books. I had all the VHS. Lady and the Tramp was my first one, right? I love romance, not cheesy romance, but I love romance stuff. I love fairy tale stuff. I love that knight in shining armor, but I love superheroes. I can take care of myself, right? I'm supercharged. I love that stuff. And my husband always like, don't tell me no fairy tale. But I like the concept of fairy tales. Now, don't lie to me, because I'm always going to find out. But I like the concept of fairy tales. There's a bad guy. There's also a good guy. And whoever wants it bad enough freaking wins. Who wants it bad enough? Who wants it badder? Who has more energy put towards what it is that they want? That's how we win. That's how we win. And sometimes there's casualties along the way, but there's just as much helpers. There's just as much people helping you and rooting for you to get there, even if they're in their own shy little way. Allow yourself to be optimistic and not instantly go into a spirit of doom and gloom. Regardless of things that may be happening on the outside, it's your internal world that matters. Because the very first documented Great Depression of 1920, the biggest one, the one that they really put out there. Yeah, they had prohibition. Yeah, they were trying to lock stuff down. Yeah, there was people jumping out of buildings. But you know what? There were a lot of millionaires that were made. There were a lot of bootleggers that were made. There was a lot of alcohol. Even though it was prohibition, there was a lot of alcohol that was discovered. Some new brands and strains and different ways to get it. When people are put in a vice or put in a box, you'll begin to see the ones who start to feel like the walls are closing in, or the ones that can say they can bust them motherfuckers down. It's there. Just what is it that you choose to focus on? Allow yourself to always see the silver lining. What's the lesson? What's the blessing? And if you want it bad enough, you will find it. I know there's things that I've gone through that I know was a lesson, and it hurt so much. It rocked me to my core. But it allowed me to apply that lesson. So I never had to feel that again. And be determined to never go through it again. And now I know how to avoid it. I know what I did to get into it. Now I know what I have to do to not ever go back to that state again. And I would rather put my life on the line than to experience that type of feeling again. It's the same way with everything else. With everything else that you go through in your life. The silver lining is either a lesson or a blessing. Let that be your mantra. And don't let anyone deter you with their own preconceived BS, what are you going to do with the walls of the box that they're trying to put you in? We are free and sovereign beings, not meant to be there. Okay, wealthy family, that's all that I have for this Mindset Monday. You can change. You can affect change. You can bring about change because you are a malleable being and your reality can change like that. So, until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love. Peace.